This is something that people do not talk about. But the truth is, reproduction is a scam. Reproduction is a scam. That's the truth. I mean, think about it. You bring an innocent child into this world that has a DNA that's almost identical to yours, and you think that that child is yours. But the truth is, you do not own that child. You see? You do not own that child. And I know what you're thinking. But Benedictines, that's a good thing because no one should be owned. And I agree with you. No one should be able to own someone else. No one should be owned in this world. But the problem is, your child is actually going to be owned by someone else. That is the problem. I mean, your child is going to spend their time and energy working for someone else because they don't have any other option. They will have to work. And the person that your child will be working for, that will be the person that actually owns your child. I know what you're thinking. No, actually, people actually do have an option. They don't have to work for people that they do not want to work for. If they want to work for someone that's what they really want, it's not like they're forced. It's not like that person really owns them. But no, that's not true. I mean, people have to survive in this world, and in order to survive they have to make money, and in order to make money they have to work most of the times, because a lot of people are not creative enough to make money doing the things that they actually love doing. So they have to work for someone to make money. So they don't have a choice. I mean, do you think that people that are waking up at 4 a.m. in the morning every day and going back home at 8 p.m. in the evening want to do that? Or they are doing that because they have to do that? See, the problem is, every person that's born here is born broke. We are all born broke. Maybe not all of us. Maybe not all of us. Because some people are born in rich families. But most of us are born broke. Most of us are born broke. So what do we do? Because this world requires money. You can't do anything without money in this world. So you have to work. And the crazy thing is, things are becoming more and more expensive. It's not easy to buy a house. It's harder than it used to be 50 years ago. So you have to allow someone else to own you so that you'll be able to afford a house. You see? And most people don't even afford a house with the money that they are being paid. Because things are becoming more and more expensive, and people are, getting peanuts where they work. Things are becoming much harder. And people can say, you know what? I do not want to work for anyone. I don't want to work for anyone. I don't believe in working for anyone. I don't want another person to tell me what to do, to tell me when to wake up. I don't like that. I don't want another person to tell me how to dress. There's something wrong with that. To me, that feels like a scam. To me, that feels like slavery. And I don't believe in that. So you know what? I'm not going to work. If a person decides that they're going to end up totally broke, the problem is, life requires money. So if they're totally broke, they're going to have nothing. And they're going to suffer because of that. And the worst thing is, we don't want to give people their right to exit this game. So it's either they work very hard, or they don't work and end up broke and be used as an example. Look at that person. Look at that homeless person. You want to end up like that? Go to school, my son. Otherwise, you're going to end up like that. You've got to work hard in this life, because if you don't work hard, you're going to end up like that bum in the street. You're going to be used as an example, because they're not gonna give you your right to exit this game, you see, because you do not own your life. So you see that reproduction is a trap, because you're bringing an innocent child into this world that didn't ask to be born, and you're not going to own that innocent child. That child is going to be owned by someone else. That child will have to work for someone else so that they will survive, even if they do not even want to survive. You see? Isn't that slavery? I mean, it might not look like slavery, but it is slavery. Because this world cannot exist without slavery. This is how things work. People tried to fight slavery in the past, and most of them actually think that they won, but they didn't. You know, people are still slaves. I mean, think about it. Most people are born broke, without a cent. Some of them are born in families that are actually poor. So that means that they're not going to have most of the things that they need in order to compete. You see, they don't even get to compete in this world. So they end up at the bottom because of that. While some people are born rich. While Jaden Smith, was born rich. That's something that you must think about. Isn't it crazy that some people are actually born rich? They don't have to work for someone. They actually do have options. They can decide to do nothing and they'll be able to survive. But you can't. You actually have to work for someone. You actually have to be a slave. How do we justify that? Don't you see that we've been scammed? Don't you see that the whole thing is a scam? No, this whole thing is a lie. People need to wake up and see the world for what it is. If you do not wake up, you're going to continue to get used by people. You got to think, man. Know your position. If you know that you're not doing well in this life, you can't be reproducing. I mean, do you really think that you will be doing your child a favor? If you are broke, you don't have money, and you bring your child into this world, do you think that you'll be doing your child a favor? Or you just don't think. You're just not able to see the world for what it is. You're not able to see what's going on. So you bring an innocent being into this world and they have to suffer because you do not think. Because you think that that child is really yours. No. You didn't create a child. If I gave you all the technology in the world, you will not be able to create another human. You see? Your child isn't really yours. That's something that you must really understand. You've been scammed. You just being made to think that child is yours because that child looks like you. Like, no, man. Once a person is born, they're just like anyone else in this world. That is why adoption is actually a good idea, because there have been a lot of idiots. I'm sorry to say this, but there's been a lot of idiots that brought children into this world that they couldn't take care of. I'm sorry to be saying that, but think about it, man. You can't be bringing a child into this world and not be able to take care of that child. That's just wrong on so many levels. So that's why I'm a bit disrespectful when I talk about this. We gotta call things what they are. But yeah, man, you must realize that there are lots of children that do not have parents. Lots of children that you can just adopt. If you are a lady, you don't have to go through the trouble of carrying someone for 9 months. I mean, think about it, man. Most women lose their figure when they get pregnant. Why go through the process of carrying someone for 9 months if you can just adopt? And that's a good thing, because you will make someone's life better. If you're a good person, isn't that the best thing to do? Think about it, man. Think about what women go through when they're pregnant. Think about how painful childbirth is. Think about all the things that they need when they're pregnant. And think about all the things that a baby needs. If you just adopt, you're gonna, you know, get a child that's already responsible, that knows how to do some things. You won't have to teach them everything. Isn't that beautiful though? Giving someone a home that does not have a home and loving that person. I mean, we're all the same, man. We're all made of the same things anyway. It's not like if you bring someone into this world, that person is better than other people, whatever. It's just a scam, man. It's just a scam. That child is gonna look like you. That's why, and you're gonna think that that means that they're important because that's my seed, and that just adopt, man. If you really want to raise a child, just adopt. That is really a good thing. That is something that this world needs. You know, we don't need people that are going to continue to reproduce, man. Lots of people are unemployed. You know, I know what you're thinking. You're like, oh, you're contradicting yourself. I'm not contradicting myself. In order to survive in this world, some people must work for someone else. So imagine some people don't even have a job. Some people can't even get a job. Some are working shitty jobs because they can't get good jobs because there's too many people. Think about it, man. There's so much suffering in this world. It doesn't make sense. You gotta wake up, man. You gotta wake up. Only we can save ourselves. There isn't, someone out there that's gonna come into this world and save us. No. We are the ones that have the power to save ourselves because we can think. You see? I do understand that there are some people that don't think, because I've debated with a lot of people in my life and I've realized that actually some people do not think. You see? That is why they allow other people to manipulate them. Some people have figured this out. They figured out that some people don't think, so they just manipulate these people. Because if you do not think, you are easy to manipulate. But if you are able to think, you won't be easy to manipulate. It's important that if you are able to think, you don't copy what other people are doing. Try to do things that make sense to you. People don't have to be suffering the way that they're suffering. They're suffering the way that they're suffering because because a lot of people do not think, because a lot of things are mismanaged. People are just following the basic instincts, thinking that they're doing the right thing. No, they're not doing the right thing. We don't have to suffer the way that we're suffering. We don't have to keep on justifying our suffering. It is important that we try our best to see things as they are, as we evolve as a species. We can't be behaving like animals. Ain't we, a little better than them? I mean, there are a lot of people who actually believe that they're better than animals. If you are better than, other animals, then why ain't you behaving better than them? Why ain't you the ones that are actually responsible? Why ain't you the ones that are actually doing the right thing? Because if you are better than them, it's supposed to show. We're supposed to see you doing things that make us realize that, yeah, actually, this individual is better than the animals. This individual deserves our respect. This individual is the kind of individual that everyone should be following. This is the kind of individual that everyone should be learning from. It isn't a person that we must take for granted. But there ain't that many people that we should follow in this world, because a lot of people are just doing the same things. A lot of people are just copying one another. A lot of people do not think deeply enough. A lot of people do not see things as they are. A lot of people are perpetuating suffering unnecessarily because they're just following their basic instincts. It's not necessary to cause harm these days, man. If we really wanted to stop causing harm, we will be able to do that. You know, I mean, why continue to cause harm if we know that we are actually causing harm? Maybe animals don't know when they're causing harm. Who knows? Maybe they're not conscious enough to know when they're causing harm, but we are conscious enough to know when we're causing harm. So why cause harm? Doesn't make sense. Thank you, guys.